I'm Matt Braunger. This might help.
I am not a doctor.
This might help.
I'm not a professional.
Let's have fun. This honestly is a good time.
Honestly, I got no idea what I'm doing. What's going on, Corey?
I'm Matt Braunger. This might help. The podcast. Hey, this is This Might Help with Matt Braunger. If you have a problem and it doesn't require any clinical assistance, anything really serious you're dealing with, give me a call. My guests and I will help. It's 323-763-0228. Thanks for all the well wishes and the nice messages and the ratings. As far as I'm concerned, I think we're still 5 stars, man. 5 stars. And staying that way. And obsessed with it, like Pacino's character in the last Ocean's movie. Guys, that's a weird reference, but I have a guy on here who I think maybe just got it. And he's an old friend. He's someone I've known for years, but I don't see him that often. He's one of those dudes I see backstage at shows, and we always connect well. As far as I know, he might be inside shaking his head like, "Nah, man, you read it. You read the room wrong." But let's see, trying to, off the top of my head, some of his credits. You've seen him as a cast member of Black Sunday. You've seen him on Comedy Central. There's a ton of other shit that I'm blanking on, but IMDb is not my strength. Yassir Lester, everybody.
Hey, sweet Maddie. You know what's weird is that we actually hung out the most when I was a door guy at the Improv, and you were here. Did you come straight from Portland or did you come from Chicago?
I came from Chicago.
Okay, yeah. So I feel like you were part of that wave of all the Chicago people that rolled out.
Yeah.
So I was a door guy at the time, and
Yeah.
you were like the guy. Like, I actually weirdly, it may not have been right when you got from Chicago, but you were like one of LA Weekly's like top comics to watch. Like,
Yes.
Were you on the cover or no?
I was on the cover of 2009.
Yeah.
Back in my glory days.
Yeah,
Like, you're
dude.
having yours now.
Yeah.
My star has long since faded. And
Okay. No, bro, stop it.
I'm being facetious, but it is that thing that I used to think that way in terms of like, it's just like in terms of like, oh, I'm not hot anymore. I'm this or that. You know, it's like, and of course that shit still comes to your mind. It is the game. But
well, you know what's weird is I feel like it comes and goes so quickly.
Yeah.
And like, but not in a bad way, but more just like it happens, and then you're just kind of like, oh, it kind of didn't mean anything. Like, you know what I mean? And then you just have like a pretty nice career, and you're like, I would have just chosen this. I didn't like, I worked way too hard at like getting on a list.
Yes.
Like,
oh my God. The amount of obsession we all felt. Like, why am I not on this list? Why am I not? You know, a comedian who I will not mention because she would murder me. A long time ago was like, there used to be this festival that would go on next to South by Southwest that was called Mess with Texas.
Yeah.
It was like everybody alt was in it, like David Cross and Garofalo. And I hosted one show out there, and like I remember there's a comic that was at South by that was like, I mean, it doesn't mean like I'm cool with it, but like, why am I not on that festival? Like, and I don't blame her at all, because we've all done that. We're like, why am I not on that list? And now every list is, you know, I feel like they've gotten better in a sense, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's weird for me to say because I'm never on any of them. But no, it's just like, I'm out of that. I don't care.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I would even qualify for it at this point.
Right.
You know, but it's you know, it's that thing where it's like, I hope young comedians know, like, if you're starting out and you get on the list, feel great about it. But if you don't, it doesn't mean shit.
It truly means that. Well, yeah. Now, that being said, the Forbes 30 under 30 list came out today. And I was like, I'm literally 36. Like, there's not even a chance I could be on it. And I was still like low key kind of heated. Like, all right, this sucks.
It's Forbes. It's like their whole, it's a magazine about the richest people.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's that. I remember, I think about this a lot. Rashida Jones gave a commencement speech, I believe, or something, or was talking to graduates of Harvard, and she went to Harvard. And I know people that have gone to Harvard, but it is this thing where it's like, it is permanently the greatest American university.
Yeah.
You know, permanently. It's always number one.
Right.
Every time that list comes out.
Yeah.
So when you go there, you're saddled with that. You're saddled with being half honorable and half the joke of the party.
Yeah.
You really went there?
Yeah.
No, really. You did? And she was talking to them and she was saying, just get ready because you're going to get a lot of that. Right. I get a lot of that. And we deserve it. You know, but it's just like, talk about 30 under 30 is like that times at least 100. You know,
but I was like, I truly could not afford food until I was 31. Like, so it's crazy to think that, true. Like, they like write articles like this person is killing it, and I'm like, I didn't have a car. Like, it's so crazy. But like, again, like I have so many people that I know and love on it, like Z-Way's on it, just like so many great people. But like, it is crazy to see and be like, oh wow, this still means something to me.
But it's more their influence then, because I don't really, I'm a fan of Z-Way. I don't know her really, but I can't imagine it's because of her wealth that she's on that list.
Oh yeah, no, it's like the hottest.
Okay. Okay, great.
Oh, if it was a wealth thing,
when you said Z-Way, I was like, really?
Yeah,
she's got it like that. Oh.
That would be crazy. Yeah, I would be dead. I would kill myself.
There was one comic who, like, I watched. She did like some, singing kind of number or something. And my wife works on the other side of the business. She used to be my manager.
I was an assistant on a show where she managed the client. Like I was an assistant on Workaholics when.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
of course. She actually didn't work. She worked with Avalon that manages them, but she didn't directly.
She did. Yeah, but I mean, Avalon would come by the office. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, yeah.
So, but it was this. I was like, one of those things I'm watching. I'm like, oh, okay, and she was saying like, oh, this person's tearing it up right now, but I think she comes from oil money, and I'm like, talk. We all, as comedians, resent someone with family money.
Yeah.
I love Nick Kroll because he got ahead of it right away. Right away, he got ahead of it.
Yeah,
and he's funny and he's great.
Yeah,
and a kind soul. But it's like oil money.
Yeah, you know what I realized? Because there is like, it's like the Rooney and Kate Mara of it all a little bit too.
Yes.
Where I'm like, it seems odd, and this is just me, and this might speak to like maybe a personal flaw, but I'm like, why would you choose something hard? Like if you know what I mean? Like if someone was like, your dad's an oil tycoon, your mom is an oil tycoon, I'd be like, okay, I'm going into oil. Like I wouldn't, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, none of us are so interesting that we have to be artists.
No.
And I genuinely mean that. So like the idea, like, and here's the thing, like Nick is so funny and so weird. And like, I do think weirdly having the background that he does is what informed him to be such a psycho.
No question.
But I'm also just like, there's no world where I'm not coasting if I had that.
Right,
like,
sure.
I would go, like the idea of an open mic when you have $1 billion.
No.
Get real.
No. Yeah. And I will say comedy is kind of like the last refuge of the talentless bastard in a way.
Right.
I'm sure. Yeah. So you have a lovely singing voice and you probably can, play some instrument or something.
Yeah.
You're amazing at chess. Like you have something, there's something there I can tell. But there's that thing where when you see, and this was the funniest thing to me. I feel like I'm talking a lot, and I need to let you talk more. But I feel like we're flowing.
Hey man, we're vibing.
I've talked about this before, but when I first moved to LA, and you probably remember this from working at the Improv, there was a wave of Dane Cookites where you could tell people's reps, your handsome 20-something white guy reps. Their reps had told them, look, you're not getting cast. You got to try stand up. And you watch these chiseled, beautiful men just eat shit. Yeah. And they're on the lineup and they're like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
So it's
oh, sorry, go.
No. That's my point.
Well, because I mean, like there was because that was the thing is that, like, because those agents usually were at like a bigger agency or they repped another comedian, so they had enough pull to be like, can you put this person on? The thing that you didn't see probably is that those people would also just do like full lineups of just like their actor clients,
Ooh.
just like as a stand-up showcase, and I was just like working the door, and it's like, again, like, here's the thing, and like, I'm gonna be real, like, Dane Cook's half hour on Comedy Central is like still one of the funniest things I've
Oh,
ever
it's
seen. Like,
stellar.
he's
His first
so
album
fun.
is stellar.
Yeah. And
When I
then, like,
first moved to LA, I saw him play Dublin's, which was like his castle.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
was just like, I was crying laughing. I
Dude,
thought he was brilliant. He was so fun.
He was so funny, and like, but
And I
there
don't,
was
when I
like a
said
weird.
Dane Cookites, I mean, he gave
No,
them.
well, no. Well, what I was gonna say is
Yeah.
that the weird thing is that people, they like weirdly, or the male comedians who tried to be him, they didn't take like any of the funny. Like, what they took was that, like, oh, he's handsome and cool, and then they just tried to do a version of that where they would just like talk about like banging chicks, and you're like, "Well, he's not saying that." Like, he's like talking about the movie Alien and stuff, but like, you've interpreted it as that because he's wearing True Religion jeans, I guess. But like,
Yes.
it was so, dude, I remember it was so odd, but it was just like guys and like, it's like such a stupid thing, but like very tight t-shirts that has like a turtleneck neck. Like,
Oh,
it's just like dressed for like a club, and like those, like, I don't know if you remember them. They're like these pointy like dress shoes, but had a square toe. They were like
yes.
very long, like, and again, True
I had a
Religion
pair of
jeans.
those. I'm
Ah,
just gonna admit it right. I'm so
buddy,
sorry. And they were when I
buddy.
lived in Chicago, and they were like almost boots.
Yes.
Because I knew a guy that was insanely stylish, that was a bartender, that bartended all the hot spots, and he had a pair of shoes that looked kind of like them, but in the light of day, when I was wearing them, I'm like, oh, my shoes are garbage. Yours are cool, So in my defense, I just judged horribly wrong.
I truly, there's no world in which that was like, your friend wasn't stylish. Even then, you're an idiot. Like that.
I can't describe it. He would take these stabs in certain ways that would go. He's also a ridiculously handsome guy too.
That's what it is. He's handsome and he's putting on whatever he wants. You know what I mean? Like,
that's it.
So many, like, anyway, yeah.
Side note, I was so happy when my therapist stopped wearing square-toed shoes. Like, so it was like probably 4 or 5 years ago, but it was like there was that day I came in. It's like I can't tell him. Yeah, he's helping me so much. I can't be like, man, you got it. Look, the fact that you wear, untucked shirts, I'm pretty sure those are untuckeds. That's cool, man. I mean, I can't. He's also a 40-something guy. I can't. He's wearing what I should wear in a lot of ways. But it's just like those. And then when he had just normal, what are like Rockports or something? It's like, oh, thank you.
Just like a nice, like, thick, chunky but squishy sole. Like, we're in it.
And looks normal.
Male therapist.
Yeah.
Huh.
What, you only go with a female therapist?
I've had both.
I have too.
Find that I'm more vulnerable with a woman in a way that I'm not with it. Like, I find myself not even trying to, like, it's not like I'm like, we should arm wrestle. But like, I feel like anytime like a male therapist gives me advice, it's almost like I could have thought of that. Like, shut up. And then when it's a female therapist, I'm like, oh, I literally didn't see it that way.
It was one of those things because I was having a problem with keeping relationships together, specifically this one that I wanted to save. I.e., with Kara. And he was a relationship specialist, and before him, I had a female therapist that, like, she didn't help me at all. She made me feel good about myself, but there was no evolution.
Right.
And I didn't expect that. It's not, change comes from within, obviously.
Right,
but I at the same time, it would be, I would say something that would be just wild, like something like, I feel like in moments, like no one's good enough for me. And she's like, maybe they're not. I'm like, just stop. Come on.
Give me her number.
Let's hold on.
Give me her number. I love her.
And in the grand scheme, she meant probably people I've met.
Right.
I haven't met that person, but it was like, I just, you know what I'm saying? So it works with Alan because he's he's a really chill guy, and is like, and he's lived a lot of the life I've lived, and is married, has 2 kids and shit. So it's like, you know, we can relate on that level now, because I have a 3-month-old now. So it's just, I've been with him for like 8 years, and it worked. How long have you been in therapy?
So I was in therapy, God, I'm trying to think. So it was like 24, like beginning of 2015, like long and short of it, I was in a very long relationship that was like just going haywire and on the rocks. And at the same time, and she's good now, thank God, but my mom was like diagnosed with cancer at the time. Like it was just like a lot of stuff. So I was in it for, you know, like 2 or 3 years, and then I had to move to New York for work. So I kind of stopped going for like 2 years, and then I started going again last year. Is it 2020? Oh my God, 2020 is almost over. So yeah, I've been back in it for like 18 months. And I mean, like, even just like the, you know, and I don't want to get too like about it, but like it really is like, especially as a dude, I don't think you realize just like being honest with another person, like how vulnerable that is.
Oh my
you
God.
know? So it's like, here's your money. I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel, even if you don't give me advice. Like, I just need to get this off my chest. But she's legitimately a genius. I don't know if we need to edit her name or not, but her name is Dr. Elise Gibney. I adore her. She's the best. If anyone's looking for a therapist who's a lady.
Well, I will say my first therapist, the lady I mentioned before, she, I won't say like saved my life, but saved a portion of my sanity, because I had just got out of the most toxic relationship of my life, hands down. And a lot of it was my fault, you know, a lot of it was hers, but it's that thing where it's like, I don't hold any grudge against this person at all, but it was like, it was so unhealthy, I can't even get into it. But telling her all that stuff that I'd never told my friends, because it was kind of like we don't call it anything. It was one of those
of course.
bullshit, you know, friends of benefit, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So I never talked about what was going on. Telling her of that stuff, I'm just bawling, and I walked out of that session and was just like I cut the rock that was tied to my back, and it rolled down the hill.
So odd, dude. Like my therapist again. Like, she's so like, I mean it. Like, I even told her this on Thanksgiving. I was like, I've never done this before, but like, I literally am thankful for you. Like, you're like, she's like such a guiding light and force, and like a calm, super presence and like a super intelligence in my life that like, you know, I treat her the way, and like and I even told her this. I was like, please don't tell me if I'm ever crossing the line into being unhealthy. But like, I look at her the way that people are like addicted to psychics. Like, look at it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, all right, what would Dr. Gibney think? Like, here, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me do what Dr. Gibney would be proud of. Like, you know what I mean? But other than that, she's also a phenomenal, like, the way she rewired my brain is like phenomenal. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I think I always tell people that are skeptical, it's like, you don't have anyone in your life you can tell anything to, like a therapist.
Yeah.
You know, that's worth the money alone.
Yes.
Right there.
Yeah.
That, you know, and B, you need someone to give you genuine perspective that's trained in those arts.
Yeah.
Because it helps.
Yep.
The wild thing, I have a joke about one of my specials about how
one of his specials, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on.
One of them.
Look, I have a special I paid for. It's like, come on, this is not,
counts.
You know.
It counts.
Okay, I'll take it.
Where is it streaming?
Amazon Prime. Anyway,
okay, exactly.
Thank you. But he, where my therapist, when I broke up with Kara, met me at a mall, so I could walk around the mall with him, and I just talked it out with him, and I'm just crying in the mall. And the whole story is about how, you know, it was so special of him to do that, but probably everyone in the mall was just like, holy shit, that guy's dumping his boyfriend at the mall. Like, that's the joke. And thankfully, I think it's on Big Dumb Animal. And you know what? I didn't pay for that special. But like, he's seen that special. He's watched it with his wife. Yeah. She's cracking up. She's like, can you imagine? She doesn't know that this dude sees me. They're both therapists. So they can't tell each other who their clients are.
wild, dude.
Isn't that
That
crazy?
is so funny.
Yeah.
I just like the idea of him wearing square-toed shoes, being like, "It's over, man," and you being like, "No, Papa."
You're weird. Fucking untuck it. Tuck your shirt in, man.
So wait, I do have a question about those. Do you know enough about them that I can ask you a question or no?
About the shoes?
About the Untuckits?
No, I don't know anything about him. And you know what? I don't think he wears the untuckets. I think he just wears.
He just untucks.
He just untucks. Yeah. But what was the question?
Is the cut like I want to know what makes it an Untuckit?
Right. That's that. The guy who created them is a fucking genius.
Yeah.
Because the amount of times I wanted to yoke Pete Holmes off stage for wearing an untucked shirt with a blazer. It's like such a fucking pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
It's like fucking tuck your shirt in.
Yeah.
No one cares if you have a belly. I have a belly.
Right.
Tuck it in. You have a blazer on. God damn it.
Yeah.
You know? But like untuck it. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're shorter. And I know there's like a triangle. Like that's like his brand on the side that you can
know
see.
that's the one because I know they're pre-pandemic and I moved, but I lived on the west side for a while. There's like an Untuckit store like in Santa Monica, I want to say.
I'm sure.
Like I just remember seeing that like logo or whatever, and I was just like, this feels. That would be like if you made a T-shirt that's meant to be tucked in. It like feels like why are we doing like? And I know people hate on them, but like it's not even that I'm hating on it. It's just like I don't I don't understand.
I don't get it. I don't get how that's a market and how that guy's like a billionaire now.
Yeah.
Like it is. It's like if they created those T-shirts that like those tops that women used to wear when we were kids where they would snap in the crotch.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I guess technically they did.
Like a baby. You know how you like a baby onesie?
Yeah, like a sweet baby.
Like a sweet baby.
Like a sweet little baby. Like a sweet little Braunger baby.
Yeah, like Rose.
3 months.
Yeah, dude. We drove her across the country to Massachusetts to meet the in-laws because the fires and because fuck it.
Yeah.
So, but you know, are you in a relationship right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So like long time.
Yeah. 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the first relationship was longer, and then that ended, and then we've been together for 3 years.
Are you guys married or?
Not yet, but it'll be that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you thinking any kids or no? Or do you think about it?
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like, "What's the exact date you're gonna propose?" I was like, "What is going on?" No, we like, it's not. So I was, product of a single mommy. Me and my brother and sister, and I'll say that. It's not that I've never had to drive. Like I've always wanted to be married, but I never knew about kids. But it's like I'm like 36 now.
Same, dude.
My girlfriend is a little younger than me. She's 12, and
wow,
she wants them. But I'm like, we gotta wait at least 10 years.
3 numbers.
Who are you calling? The cool
Nobody.
Boys? Yeah. No. But she's younger than me by a few years, and
okay.
I was like, okay, by the time I'm 40, she's like 2 or 3 years younger than me. I'm like, let's then we'll just like adopt,
okay.
like we're not, she's a very very talented and respected writer, actress, comedian, director. Like she literally does it all.
Cool.
And so I'm sure there's a little bit of vanity and like I don't want to get pregnant, and I like I have no say, and I also don't care. I also like have 3 cousins that were adopted, and like I also like I love my family. I love my immediate family, my mom, brother, sister, but I'm also like, as a grander whole, do I want like a whole picture? Do I want a baby in the world that also has my family's bloodline, or would I rather start fresh?
That's the look. I've never asked him, and I probably never will. But like, the rumor is why Dana Gould has 3 adopted Chinese daughters is because he wanted his lineage to stop.
Yeah,
like he says that as a joke.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, I just gotta take that as gospel. You know,
I like.
but you're a solid guy, you know.
Yes, but again, you can't control recessive genes. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
some of my cousins are so wild that I'm like, I don't want to end up giving birth to one, or having, my future wife give birth to one of them. Like,
right.
That's the issue.
I got you.
You know?
Yeah. Well, look, A, you got time, and B, there's no rules. I've
Right.
pretty much the same as you have. Like, I've always seen myself getting married, always wondered about having kids. Now we have this one, and that's, I think we're one and done.
Yeah.
It's kind of just this magical time where,
Yeah.
and it's perfect since you can't do stand up. Not really. I can't do the road. And like, I mean, I could, but like,
that's
no,
crazy.
Yeah. But like, there's not really work. So it's like, this is me now. I'm a stay-at-home dad, and it's,
but you also like act
tough.
and stuff, so that's different. Like,
you're
not,
totally. Yeah. But it's
the stand-up part of it. Yeah.
Right. Kind of, yes. Exactly. But it's solid. So
is it wild?
It's so nuts, dude. But it's great. It's this thing where you have this person you're always excited to see, and you get mad at them. We laugh about it. Like God damn it, stuff. Just stop crying or whatever. Or stop being so persnickety. And then she goes to bed, and you're like, fuck, I miss her, man. Like, I want to watch this movie, but shit, what's up? What's she doing? And you go look, and you creep on her, like, hey, it's I can't even describe it, but I've always said, it's just like, I'm never gonna bore my friends being like, oh, you just gotta know it. I got told that stuff, and of course, but that's chemicals,
right? Exactly.
When a friend told me that, like I was like, her daughter is like 10, and I was like, fuck, she looks just like you. And she's like, really? She's like, I think she looks like my husband. Your first one that comes out, it always looks like the husband. That's so, genetically he won't just run away right away. Right. I was like, what? Like, I never knew that. And so when my wife had our daughter, I was just like in fear that this fucking little Braunger would come out. I didn't want to see me as a girl come out, and and of course I didn't. It looks the same as any other baby. It looks like it's malformed and all fucked up. And then now she looks like a doll. She's like, everything on her is round ass cheeks, huge head, big forehead. She is bananas cute. That's one reason I don't put her on the internet. I put a big rose over her face.
I see your face. It's
and it's just like me being protective. But it's great. But whatever you decide, I know you're gonna rock it. You're a very well thought out person, I've noticed. You're always very considerate of things. No. You're just you seem to always have like kind of an innate wisdom about you and a stillness. So
wow. Therapy, man.
Yes.
Again, so Dr. Elise Gibney.
Okay. You're blowing up a spot.
Yeah.
So, do you get asked advice from friends or others, or
what's weird is like, yes and no. I don't think that like in the realm that you're talking about of like having wisdom, quote unquote,
sure,
I think that like I throw myself into situations, and not in a bad way, but like I put myself in situations where it's like I would rather be the one to like go through the fire and learn and then tell you about it than be like I don't know, then someone else tell me, like, you know what I'm saying? Gotcha. Like I think it's part of the like, weirdly, I think it's part of the thing that makes us do stand up, is like there is, regardless of how like, nerdy comics can be, like there is still a recklessness in doing it because it is psychotic,
Yeah.
And so I think that so much of like, wisdom and or advice, whichever, kind of synonym you want to use, I think that all of it comes from people knowing that I've at least had some form of that experience. But like, people aren't like asking me for money advice. Like I have no idea how a business works. I have no idea how
Same.
Like I just like, I truly every day I spend money and I'm like, that feels like a lot of money to have spent. Like, and it'll be like $20 and I'm like, it feels like I should have been able to go today without spending $20, but like,
yeah.
I saw something on Instagram.
Dude, I'm so happy I don't get any of those questions on here. You know, like I just
yeah.
This whole thing came out a lot of times is like just because me being on the road so much, and I'd be talking to younger comics, and they would like ask me this, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll tell you whatever. And like I'm never gonna lie to them, and more often than not, I'm just tell them, you know, get out of your head. You know, it's not as bad as you think. You're just young and stupid.
Absolutely.
And like, you know, like I feel like it's just like, you know, Dax Shepard's podcast came out of, you know, the closeness and camaraderie of AA meetings, and he wanted to bring that, you know, to the podcast scene. So like, you know, I do not think I'm necessarily amazing at advice, but I can kind of point out this, that, or the other.
Yeah, but you're also like, but again, you're someone with experience in the world, and you're someone like, I mean, like, and it's like you are married, you have a child. Like, there's so many. You're very accomplished. Like, there's certain things that are like the tent poles of what you would ask someone. Like, I wouldn't ask the version of you that, like, I hate to be like this, but that like just got a job at Chipotle 2 days ago.
Right,
who was an alcoholic, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I wouldn't be like, hey, man, you got to, you know, so like, so I get it, but there's also like, I don't want to say too much before we get into it, but I also think that so much of it is internal. I think that we really do, on a weird cosmic collective consciousness kind of level, know the answer.
Yes.
But like we need to see it through someone else's window. Like,
yeah,
you know
and that's
I mean? Like,
that's back to your point of the comedy being psychotic but necessary.
Right.
It's this thing where it's like our job to kind of point things out and go, look, we all know this, but I'm gonna say it.
Right, exactly.
You know? Hence the whole he's saying what we're all thinking bullshit.
Right.
But you know, but it is true.
And then you say something anti-Semitic.
Yeah. Then I just like I
just
do
like
that.
Braunger always does.
My background just blurs out for a moment, like it would in a movie, and there's an iron cross and a swastika. Like,
that would be so great.
And I'm trying to play. I didn't see that you saw it.
Yeah, and it's like,
so, dude, let's go ahead and check.
Like, no, your background at Flash.
Huh?
No, you're like Fight Club at Flash.
My grandpa collects memorabilia, and this giant bald head comes in. Shut it off. Shut it off right now. Shut it off.
I mean, it would be worth it. As demonic as it would be, I would be like, oh man.
I'm surprised I don't have to talk more about how like my great grandfather fled Germany because of that shit.
Right?
You know,
yeah.
I have a German last name. All right. So okay, let's this show features calls that people leave messages for us.
Yep.
One or more of these might have known it was you because I, you know, put your picture all over.
Hey, man.
You know, as a model boy. I appreciate you having that face. So Model Boys Entertainment with a Z.
Yeah, boy. Here we go.
But I don't hear the calls. Only Renee, the producer, hears them. So he'll So I hear him at the same time as you. I don't know what's coming.
Okay.
That's the way. That's the way I like it. Shooting from the hip. So
all right.
Renee, roll the first one.
This is Ethan from Hey, Ding Donger. This is Ethan from Long Beach, California. I'm getting my master's right now in religious studies, and our semester has 2 weeks left. But I also have 4 to 5 20 to 25 page papers due in the next 2 weeks. So I guess I'm asking, how do you just buckle down and write like a motherfucker? I could really use some help on that. Hope you have an amazing day, and yeah, stay groovy.
Ethan, thanks for calling. I'm going to go ahead and throw this to you, Yassir, because unlike you, I've never staffed on a show. I've sold a show that's gone to pilot that I've written the script for. But I've never been the 10 hours in a room banging away at the ideas.
But you also get it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'll take it, but I'm just saying to pretend that you literally sold a pilot.
Wait, yeah. No, listen. I'm just saying in terms of the grind.
Yeah.
Of a series, a show that is on the air.
Yeah.
I never made it that far with anything I created. And there were times I was like, should I staff? But I just never did. You know, I mostly just did the road. Yeah. But you staffed on a lot of shows.
Buddy. Staffing. How about
staffing.
this? Ethan? Was that the name? Ethan?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Ethan, hope you're listening. I'll say this, and I actually feel like this advice goes for actually most things, but in particular with writing, I'll say that you would be shocked how much credit you will get just by literally finishing. Like, I think there is so much to be said about literally just it, like I there's so much emphasis. Yes, at some point you want it to be good, and yes, quality over quantity and all that stuff. But when you're doing things like this, like you're not writing, I'm hoping, and just by very nature of what you talked about, you're not writing like Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. It's nothing artistic. You're doing, essentially term papers, right? So with term papers, it's like fact, 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 fact. Just spit them out. Make sure that they're not, idiotic. Make sure they're correct. Make sure there's no typos, and just finish it. Like there's never going to be a good time. It's never going to
Yeah.
feel fulfilling or satisfying or like, you know what I'm saying? It's like truly, what was the point of going to school if you don't do this part? Like, you know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
truly just like, and I hate to be like that because I procrastination, I do think weirdly is one of those things that people hate on it, but I do think in a lot of circumstances, you think of the more creative way to do something because you're like, okay, I can't go 1, 2, 3. How do I get to what? How do I get from 1 to 3 in the best way, the quickest way possible?
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not saying fully procrastinate, and clearly you already have, but like, I would really take into consideration the idea of like, if you just get it out there and it's even remotely readable, there's going to be so many people who don't even come close to getting it done that you'll look by very nature, and no pun intended, look like a god just because you
Yes.
did it. So
Yeah.
just like, dude, like, I'm gonna have to get on an exercise bike after me and Brong here finish the podcast. Do I want to do it? No, of
Yeah.
course not. But it's like everything in life is just like, and I'm not even saying it in the Nike way, but it's just like you just have to do things. And like this is
Yeah.
sadly one of those things that like you're just gonna have to finish it, and it's gonna
Yeah.
suck, and it's gonna be corny,
Mm-hmm.
and there's not like the only thing that's gonna happen is they're gonna go, okay, like here's your degree, and like
Yeah.
even the pomp and circumstance of that is gonna feel like, okay, sure,
Right.
but I will say that like you will this is such a pessimistic way to say this, but I mean it. You will hate yourself more for not writing them than you
Yeah.
will for writing them.
Without a
So it's
doubt.
just like just write them and just hate the fact that you did it.
Yeah.
You know?
I would, and also I would just say, just be very conscious of looking at social media, because that feels like work when you're writing, like you're helping yourself, you'll convince yourself. Don't let yourself, but you got 2 weeks. Give yourself some sort of treat at the end of those 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Write it down, put it on the wall. Hot fudge sundae, whatever it is. I'm going out for, Chinese in the San Gabriel Valley, whatever it is. Put it up on the wall. Be like, and if it's just like, I fucking hate religion of all kinds, just look up there like, oh, fuck.
That would be, what a wild ride that would be if he ended with, I hate religions of all kinds.
I mean, it's religious studies. That's what he's getting his
I
master's
know,
in.
but I'm saying that would be so wild for him to have gotten this far and then realize he's like, I want to be a comedian.
Oh.
Yeah, truly.
So
okay.
Hope that helps, Ethan.
Hey, Ethan, hope that was it.
Yeah, Yassir, I think you nailed it. I got nothing to add besides give yourself a treat.
Give yourself a treat, Ethan.
That's it. This Might Help with Matt Braunger is brought to you by BetterHelp, or BetterHelp.com. The quickest and best way, as far as I'm concerned, to find a therapist online. Is there something preventing you from achieving your goals? Is there something interfering with your happiness? Whatever it is, for me, it was relationship help. You might want to reach out and talk to somebody. With BetterHelp, you can start communicating in under 24 hours. This is not self-help. It's professional counseling. You can send a message to your counselor whenever you want. You get thoughtful and timely responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. You don't have to sit in a room with anyone. You can do it online. That's what I do with my therapist, Alan. I don't know if he's on here, but if he's not, Alan, you should get on here. Anything you share is confidential. It's convenient, professional, and affordable. They'll work with you. So what you need to do is just go to betterhelp.com/MattB. You get 10% off. Go right now, BetterHelp.com. Thanks. So, roll call number 2, Renee.
Yo, what's up, Matt? So first of all, the last place I went before Code Red quarantine was to see you live in downtown Frederick at the Heimberg Center, I think it was.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember like not touching anything, washing my hands a million times, and that was the last time I've left the house. That's cool.
Oh, Jesus.
What I would ask you guys, my plan for quarantine, I've just been getting high and eating nonstop. Don't know how much weight I've gained, won't put on jeans, just going to ride it out with boxers. So my plan is just to eat, and then when this is all over, like, right before I get the vaccine, I'm going to get lipo. As two male models, you and Yassir, is this a great plan? I think it's a fucking fantastic plan. Just getting high as shit, eating whatever I want, Uber Eats fucking is life, and then get lipo. And everybody's like, oh, you look great. Like, I know. I slayed it. So let me know. Thanks.
Dude, thanks for calling. B, like that show was so dope. It was in Richmond, Virginia at the Frederick Hall for this Over the Limit comedy festival, which is creates awareness about drinking and driving, and like they have this service there that's like amazing, where it's such a small town, they'll come and drive and pick you up and drive you home.
That's
free.
I'm and very anti-alcohol, so that's say.
That's right on. Yeah. You're sober, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you a big drinker at a certain point?
Yeah. Never in a way. I mean, I never like sat in like a recliner with a gun, but like I just it got out of control in a way that I was just like, and my family, I come from a family of alcoholics, and I think I'm done. So
right on. Yeah, it's so funny. I've had so many friends who so many sober friends they just like, yeah, I think I'm done. They just say it like that. And I love people that put it that way. It's just like, it's shrug it off. But anyway, it only made me kind of laugh, the correlation of him seeing me at that festival and then getting high and overeating every single day. But hey, at least he's not like sitting there with a handle bottle.
Yeah.
But I hope you're kind of being tongue in cheek about getting lipo, because it's like that you eating that much still fucks up your heart and your liver, and the lipo gets the fat away, but your heart and liver are still going to be, kind of fucked up. But I don't.
So how about like? Well, here's the thing. I'll say, like, if you're joking, great. If you're not, like, true. I just at this point, I think there's like so much stigma with anything. It's like, dude, if you want to do it, do it. I mean it sincerely. Like, you deserve to be happy. There's certain there, like, I don't know. I'm like really weird about like. I'm weird about putting things into the body, but I'm okay with like, getting some fats like that, whatever. I will say, just like, make sure you're exercise, like, to your point, Matt, make sure you're exercising after, even if it's just like light walks or whatever, but like, don't, like, I think Cardi B like just gets lipo like nonstop is like her thing. Yeah, she like talks about it a lot.
Whoa.
And it's like, yeah, but like you still wanna like be, like you said, have a healthy heart or liver or whatever that is. So like if you're gonna do it, absolutely do it. But like it's like if it's gonna make you happy, then for real do it. But if you're just gonna do it to then keep doing the same stuff, it's kind of not worth it.
Yeah. And it's funny, when I was in Richmond, I noticed it's got a little wildness to it. You can see like there's the old bars that are packed, and like a lot of people in all these like kind of like bar-ish restaurants, which are a big thing, where it's like the bar is half the restaurant, and people eat at the bar, and so like and so it's like I can see there's kind of that old colonial lifestyle, I'll call it.
Yeah.
Where you always have a flagon of something at every meeting or whatever, But
they drink from a gourd, isn't that? Something, is that right?
Okay. The horn of an elk. But I mean, I think the guys you seem like you've got your head on straight in terms of like your your self-worth and your well-being,
Right.
and you're kind of laughing about these things and stuff, and that's good, where you're not calling like, fuck it, man, I remember going back to Portland once, and this friend of mine who was really low at the time was like, I don't really do anything, man, I just get pickled and burned. Like, I get drunk and I smoke weed.
Oh, I was like, I'm out the game, man. I don't know either of those things.
It's I think it's, he very much, Great Northwest whited himself very much with that statement.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd meet a person of color that would say they get pickled and burned. That just sounds.
Unless I start.
Hey, do it. Take it. Run with it.
Get beat up everywhere I go.
Just be like, I used to get pickled and burned, but no, and just keep talking and don't explain when people, what the fuck?
It's almost too clever is the problem.
Yeah, it is.
It's like trashy, but you're like, oh, but like that is smart on two levels.
Exactly. Yes, it is. Huh. I mean, I got to give it to him. Good job, Brandon. But look, dude, I think just hang in there. Don't go too hard. But yeah, to your point, it's all about body movement and exercise. As I'm getting into my, the second half of my 40s now, like I'm having to stretch so much more. And now we got this baby who, by the way, is I'll just say it. She's muscular. She's a very strong baby. The first time I tried to put her in her stomach, she flipped over, which babies don't do that. I told the doctor, and
that's crazy.
Really? She, when we bring her into the pediatrician, they're like, oh, she's very strong. And like, we had our friends over and we watched their kids. They're like our bubble family. We're in a bubble group. And we watched their kids while they were off doing something. And their daughter, Tilly, is 3 months older than our daughter. And I was like, this kid is light as shit. Like, I was just throwing her around. We handed our daughter off to them and they were like, oh, fuck. Like, she's just solid. She's just like this little rock. Long story long, when I lift her, like, I've been lifting her like, whatever. My fucking back and one of my hips has been murdering me to the point where I have to use a roller and stretch it out. So it's just like, I'm just more conscious now. But it's like, yeah, you gotta move. I mean, I exercise almost every day, but like, you gotta do it.
That is so funny, dude. Yeah. Wow. I see. That's another thing where I'm like, I need a kid who's I ain't trying to pick up all the time.
Your kid's not gonna be strong and thick like mine.
You don't know.
Slim.
That's you don't know, man. You don't know. What if I just have like again recessive genes, like a big you know. You gotta be careful.
Just a giant swole kid holding 40 might be,
I love wild as shit. So fun. Yeah, I mean, it terrifies me. But
I get it. Yeah. But dude, hope that helps, and I'm glad you came to the show. That show was dope. It was just me and a bunch of local comics in this giant theater. It was really great. Thanks for coming out, man. It's one of those things I look back on and go, like, he put the picture online and I was like, just shot of the crowd and me on stage. I was like, oh my God, look at that was a thing that I used to do. Look at that. Look at him. Okay, so we got one more.
Okay, sorry, go.
No, it's okay. So we got one more. You good to go?
Yeah. I had a thought and then it already bounced.
Okay, cool. All right, roll it, Renee.
Hi, my name is Josh. And I have a thing where it's not like a porn addiction, but I'm like I don't have sex with my wife. Like I want to, but I'm not turned on. But with porn, like, I may masturbate 5-6 times a day. And I'm just wondering, how do I channel that energy into my relationship instead of, just sort of, I feel guilty about it. So any help will be very appreciated. Thank you.
It's tough to keep that spice, I mean, but the thing about porn, it's anything you want, anytime you want. And that's what's kind of, ruining the youth in such a big way. I don't mean you, Josh. I mean, like, that's the ones who grew up on it. You know, I did not grow up on internet porn. I grew up on porn you found in the woods. We found a stack of magazines in the woods. That was our porn. And then there was VHS, and you had to sneak down in a friend's basement to watch it. And then, you know, like, there was then internet porn began right around when I was like in college.
Yeah.
So like I was already fundamentally a developed man. I wasn't, but as far as the loss,
that part, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, dude, I will say 5-6 times a day. That sounds like an addiction. That sounds like it's you're hitting the endorphin button in your brain.
Yeah.
That
Wait, because I missed. Is he watching it or hauling off 5-6 times a day? I didn't.
See, I thought hauling off, maybe not necessarily finishing, but that's what that's the impression I got.
Yeah.
You know,
because I mean, you break that down. Let's say if you did it 6 times a day, that's every 4 hours. And then if you do it 5 times, that's what, you know.
Yeah, but that's if you don't sleep. I mean, come on, yes.
I know, but but there's a world where he goes to bed at midnight, wakes up at 4, or goes to sleep at 10 p.m., wakes up at 2 a.m., does it, goes back
Fair.
Anyway.
Fair, so, but I think in modern parlance,
it's truly
we're
it's
talking
probably 8 hours.
Night.
Yeah. It's probably an 8-hour window that he's just just doing literally nothing else.
But he sounds sad, man, and I think it's good that he does feel some guilt.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's hard because the question was, how does he bring that into his relationship, right?
Right.
Is because there's not. I think there's 2 things at play. Yes, I do. You know, I hate to say that I think it's an addiction, but I do think it's an addiction because, like anything else, try to go a week without it, and if you can't, then clearly there's something. There's something there.
Sure.
You know? But more than that, you and your partner aren't talking about the things, because I would say the flip is that your partner isn't telling you what they want either, and so y'all are in a weird nebulous area where you guys are both kind of just like, pardon my language, just kind of barely getting each other off, but you're not doing the things that like attract you to attract you to that person, you know.
Yes.
So realistically, you're gonna have to go to them and say, like, these are the things I like, even if you like send it in one of those weird encrypted texts or emails, if it's embarrassing, whatever, like, and tell them to do the same with you. But like, if you're not willing to do it with them and be like more upfront, it's the same thing is gonna happen in another relationship and another one and another one and another one, because you'll never, if you're not comfortable now, you're not going to be that comfortable most likely with anyone else. Now there could be a weird thing where you like, I hate to be like this, but it's like you go onto like a sex positive forum and like find someone who's into your exact thing, and like it just so happens that you guys also connect on a relationship level. But like chances of that are I don't want to say slim, but like you even getting on one of those things is probably the slimmer chance.
Well, and like starting again when you have this person who he obviously loves,
cares about,
so it's kind of like it's that thing where I think he doesn't need to beat himself up about it, but I think he needs to stop, you know, beating off about it. But like, I think you're right. Just replace it with some other shit for a while. Try do the thing, you know, go a day without it, go 2 days without it. And I think, dude, if you stop whacking off so much, you'll save a little bit of horniness for your wife.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, it's you only have so much sap.
Yeah.
As our grandparents used to tell us. No, like, so it's you know, it sounds like you're exhausting yourself. I mean, I feel bad because I've I used to joke with April Richardson about, we went out when she was on the podcast a long time ago. We were talking about, this is back when George Michael was still alive.
Yeah.
We're talking about he used to just like fall asleep at red lights in his car because he was just like, and I think it was, probably because of drug use, but we were joking that because he was famous for like constantly hooking up with dudes in like public restrooms. And he famously said, when they were like, why? And he's like, I've never been one to be able to turn down free candy. And I'm like, well, that's a really good answer.
Yeah.
But like our running joke was like, he just is falling asleep because he's just like, oh, I've come so much. Like he's it's one of those, like, where the idea just made us laugh. Just like a friend of yours came to your house, was like, oh, and he's just sweaty, and he's like, oh, I've just been jizzing somewhere. Can I take a nap?
Well, he's like army crawl. They're army crawling in, guy or girl. Legs don't work. They've just been coming all day. Just a day full of orgasms. They're like,
I'm so tired.
Help up in the chair. Like, no, I got it.
Like, why did you come over to my house?
How did you get here?
Did you drive? You're technically impaired. Yeah. But like, yeah, it's like, just fucking lay off yourself for a minute.
And I also like this. This isn't even like, I'm not trying to sound like an old school person or any of that stuff, but I just believe truly you have to look at it from a biological standpoint, that your body is making this stuff and you're just getting rid of it, which it's your business to do. But think about the energy it takes for your body to make it, and you're just throwing it away. It's like that energy, that energy could be placed somewhere else. And like, I hate to be like this, but like, if you heard 2 calls before you, that person's gonna write hella papers, and like, you can't do that because you're spending all your time whacking it. Like, there has to be something else that you don't realize that you like just as much as this.
Yes.
And do that. Just try doing that anytime. Like, I know this is dumb, but like, for me, like, anytime I like think I want to like get on social media or something, I'll like start drawing or painting or reading a book, like something like, even though I know the drive is for me, the social media like addiction, I'm like, no, can't do it right now. Let's, So here's the thing, and I'm gonna be real, like, it sucks because like, if someone was like, hey, would you rather read a book or see boobs? I'd be like, yeah, I want to see boobs.
No question.
But if someone's like, hey, you need to read this book to like save your life, and you're like, I'd rather see boobs, that's where it becomes an issue. And to your friend, it sounds like that's where you are. And I just, more than that, I want your relationship to work. And you'd be shocked. I think people are always shocked by how far their partner is willing to go to make them happy in a sexual sense, and also how much they will enjoy asking you for things. And like, like, you could actually end up being, what if you find out your partner is like some dope sex weirdo? Like, but you won't know because, again, you're hauling. Just if anything, and like, I would say, like, take some of your favorite links you've seen, or one of the ones that you watch, and send them to your partner and be like, this is the kind of stuff I'm into. And it might shock them, or they might be hell of into it.
Well, I would start with broaching the subject about like what you're into, and talk and be like, look, we haven't been having sex and I'm sorry, I want to talk. Don't be like, I'm addicted to porn. You don't have to tell this person you're necessarily looking at so much, but just kind of like, bro, I think she'll be like, oh yeah, I've been thinking about it, like, I feel unattractive. That's where I'm sure she might be at. And like, let her know obviously she's not, and then give the porn a rest for a bit, and then go from there. And then you can get into whatever freaky shit you want to get into, and maybe mess with porn here and there. I think it's like, porn was like such a constant when I was younger, and it's all but gone away. Just obviously I've shit to do and stuff.
Right.
It's just like, I just want, it's like that thing where I'm like, am I it's that thing where it's like, am I going to go back in that old shitty house again? I don't want to go back.
Right.
In
Yeah.
You know, it's that thing where it's like, I just don't even want to, if anything, I'll just like use my imagination to take care of myself by myself. You know, like it's so sad.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll say this, and like, not even to be like the like cool woke guy, but it's like, I do think that like things like OnlyFans and like all the sex performers are like making it their own, which is actually pretty dope. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like if comedians actually ran the comedy industry, you'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
it's like a different thing altogether. So for that part of it, and like I do think that like it can be especially for this person, like it can be like an actual nice intimate thing between you two.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but again, it's also like it's like anything, you know, it's like alcohol, it's like cigarettes, it's like well, not cigarettes because cigarettes just kill you, but like
Not even fun, just cool.
yeah, but it's like porn can actually, you know, like I don't know, I don't know what point I'm trying to make other than like I think that there's a way that I think a lot of people can find a balance with it, and
Mm-hmm.
it seems like maybe this person has gone off the deep end on it, and I think you're on the other end of it where you're like, you know. But I
Sure.
do think there's probably a middle for maybe it's not this person that we're talking about, but maybe anybody else who's listening. That I think that like you can, you know, I don't know. There's a way to like enjoy it without it being exploitive or detrimental to one's life, and like because I also think that when we like tell people stuff like that, it's like don't do it. He's probably like okay, and then like after an hour, it's like oh god, I'm never gonna stop. You know, like
yeah, sure.
But
some people they do get, you know, like chemically in their brain addicted. It's a genuine thing.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, so we just want you, whoever you are, to talk it over with your partner. See if it's like, even if you're like, hey, I saw this today, and I don't know how you talk sexy to them.
Yeah.
Just don't. Yeah. Male terms are so gross. It's like, I got hard. It's like, that's, what person is like cool?
Yeah, I mean, you know, unless she's into that sort of thing.
Yeah, but we know they're not.
Probably
we
not.
know they're not.
Probably not.
Like, anyway. Yeah. So don't ruin your relationship over this stuff. Because also, I don't know, it's hard because like clearly those, you know, those videos you're watching, those people don't love you back. And at some point you are gonna want genuine.
Yeah.
You know,
it's you cannot beat the personal connection, and the harsh thing about people getting addicted to porn is like they have a real tough time making personal connections.
Yeah.
You know.
So just be on the lookout for yourself.
Yes.
Young king.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of young kings,
yeah.
Is there before we go, is there anything you need to plug or want to plug or put out there?
No. I think everyone knows.
I mean,
no. I mean, like, no. Just Instagram Yassir Lester, Twitter and then Twitter Yassir Lester.
And you are, I will say, you're a very fun follow on social media because you engage with people. I liked your what's the thing where you like post a picture of yourself and I'll tell you like
if you're ugly.
If you're ugly, and I remember there was that woman post a picture of her and her boyfriend, and he was obviously.
Oh, that was a different thing where I was like, because there's also post a picture of you and your spouse, and I'll tell you if you guys are gonna make it or not. And that's what got under people's skin. More.
Yes, and the dude was obviously faded, and you're like, I think you guys got a chance, but your man needs to get his drinking under control. Because you could, you know, he had the red eyes.
Yeah,
you know.
But it's real. But also, what's weirder is that like with stuff like that, I'm like, why wouldn't you pick the very best photo of yourself?
Oh,
you know, like.
Well, you know,
if that's the case, then it's like, don't send it.
I'll tell you why. Because he's talking to his bros in a circle, and they're pounding White Claws, and she's back there bored, looking at her fucking phone.
Yeah.
You know, talking to her real boyfriend in her mind.
Yeah.
And it's just like, let's take a picture.
Yeah.
And he's just like, and then sends it to you, and you're like. What are you doing with that schlub? Yeah.
Yeah. God. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I got.
Well, dude, I'm glad you came on the show. Thanks
Dude,
for taking the time to do it.
Stop it. Thank you for having me. It's so much fun.
I miss seeing you around, and
hey, man,
hopefully,
we'll do it again.
Hopefully,
when I catch
smart.
COVID, I'm gonna come hang out.
No, they're gonna be smart and give the vaccine to comedians first, and
so we can perform it for no one.
this fucking ham-fisted. Let's give it to entertainers to entertain the first responders. Like, no, give it to the fucking nurses and doctors.
Please, yeah.
They don't want to
truly
laugh.
Give it to me last. Literally give it to me last. I
pretty
mean
much
sincerely.
Yeah. I'm not around anyone ever, so not to worry.
Oh.
But thanks again, man. I appreciate you being on.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening to This Might Help with Matt Braunger. If you need some help and you think me or my guest might be able to, give you some advice, and I bet we can, leave us a message at 323-763-0228. Again, that's 323-763-0228. Go tell your friends. Thanks for listening to This Might Help. If you need any advice, no matter how serious or stupid, call 323-763-0228. Again, that's 323-763-0228. And thanks. This Might Help with Matt Braunger was created and hosted by me, Matt Braunger. Produced by Outer Circle Media. Executive producers Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly for the Laugh Button Podcasts.